Good.
All right,
Yeah,
y'all
mine's
ready?
an old
5 o'clock, right?
Yeah,
All right.
they weren't taking it serious.
Y'all ready to roll?
I did have to.
Yes, sir.
threaten.
All right. Let's do it. Good afternoon, everyone. I call to order our city council session for today, May the 28th, 2026. Roll call. Miss Jessica.
Mayor Clea McCaw,
Present.
Vice Mayor Carolyn Flowers,
Present.
Councilmember Faye Jackson,
Present.
Councilmember Ken Kilmurray,
Present.
Councilmember Angelica Landry,
Present.
Councilmember Brian Myers,
Present.
Councilmember Mark Rodriguez.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. And we have our invocation by the Reverend Deacon Dorothy Gutwin of the St. Stephen's Episcopal Church. And after she has concluded, we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance by Councilwoman Jackson. Please stand.
Let us pray. Holy One, known by many names and beyond all names, Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of community, Spirit of justice, we ask your blessings on the people who have been called to lead this community to which we live and work and play. Help them as leaders to not ask first, how do we fix this? But rather, what do we need to learn? How might we need to change? And to whom do we need to listen? Remind them, because we all forget from time to time, especially in the noisiness of what passes for political debate today, that they are also servants and that it is their responsibility and ours to serve the common good of all. Remind them that no matter where we live, everyone is our neighbor, our sibling, and that throughout the ages, prophets have called the leaders of the people to respect and protect the least of those among us, our children, the elderly, the poor, those who hunger, those who are homeless, those who are ill in body, mind, or spirit, the strangers and immigrants in our midst, those who live on the margins, and those who are alone, and those who are forgotten. Grant them and us the wisdom and courage to know and do what is right and good and true. May they and we speak out when it is time to speak out and listen, patiently and receptively when it is time to listen. May they and we always be guided by the spirit of community, by the spirit of justice, and by the spirit of love. All this we pray in the name of all that we hold sacred and holy, all that we hold good and right and true. May it be so. Amen.
Please remain standing as we recite the Pledge of our Allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And we have item number 1, acceptance of agenda. Councilman Kilmurray.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the agenda for May 28th, 2026 council meeting be approved as written.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Discussion items. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Seeing none is passed. Tonight we have a special presentation coming from Chief Heiser as well as Chief Don Foster as they come for our Sentinel of Life Award.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And Mr. Mayor, you want to come down and join us?
Yes, sir.
Is this working? Thank you. All right, testing. It's working. All right. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor, members of council. Chief Foster and I are honored today to recognize a citizen. So Raymond Rivera, if you'll please come forward. Not too long ago, we introduced the Sentinel of Life Award, and we'd like to issue that to Raymond, give you just a kind of a rundown on what Raymond did for a member of our community that was in need. On May 2nd, so just last month, Raymond was out early in the morning and it was about 3 in the morning. He was near the vicinity of 2nd Street and Fry Boulevard when he heard somebody yelling. He couldn't find anything, and he drove on. And he realized maybe he should go back and check the area. Went back and checked the area in the dark, and actually located there was a Love's service technician who was changing the tire on a semi-trailer. And the compressor, the jack compressor, malfunctioned, and the trailer essentially pinned the gentleman down and fell on his arm, and he could not get out. So Raymond, coming across this, got the jack working and was able to lift up the trailer to get his arm out from underneath it. We got the gentleman to the hospital, and I think his quick action was probably saved the use of this gentleman's arm. And I will tell you, one thing is, thank you for paying attention to your surroundings. We ask our citizens to do that as much as possible. Thank you for having your windows down, listening. You heard the yelling, and also thinking twice, like maybe you should come back and check. Thank you for doing that. This gentleman may have very well have lost the use of his arm had you not acted so quickly. We don't know how long he would have been there. At 3 in the morning, he might have been there for a long time pinned under this trailer. Thank you so much. And I'd like to read the citation. For the Sentinel of Life is presented by Sierra Vista Police Department and Sierra Vista Fire and Medical Services. This commendation is in recognition of extraordinary courage, unwavering compassion, and decisive action in the preservation of human life. The Sentinel Life Medal is awarded to Raymond Rivera. On behalf of the people of Sierra Vista, and with the deepest gratitude, we honor your selfless response in a moment of critical need. Through your brave and compassionate actions, you stood as a sentinel between life and loss, a symbol of hope in the face of danger, and a reminder of the profound power of individual resolve. Your willingness to act without hesitation embodies the highest ideals of humanity and civic responsibility. Let this medal serve as a lasting tribute to your valor, empathy, and service to others. Awarded this 28th day of May 2026. Congratulations. Award you the medal. I have something else. She had a challenge.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you.
Wait, don't sit down yet. I need to get another phone to take a photo. Sorry.
Yeah.
You did that whole last part. All right, everybody in together. Thank you.
Thank you,
I guess all. I guess all I've got to say is I was tired, about ready to drive home, driving down that block, and I thought I heard something. And, my mind was, I'm a little hard of hearing. And so it took a little while for my mind to say, no, that was somebody yelling. I started turning to head home, and then something in my pit of my stomach told me, turn back. And that's kind of bringing back to my dad, grew up in a rough neighborhood, taught me when someone needs help, you help them. And that's pretty much it. So thank you all.
Since you already are used to being, working at odd hours and you pay attention to surroundings, we're hiring. So if you're interested in being a police officer, just saying.
Chief always have that recruitment mentality. Thank you, Chief. Congratulations, sir, and family. And we have our city manager report, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mayor McCaw, members of the council. Your next regularly scheduled work session is scheduled for June 9th, 3 p.m. That'll be here in the council chambers. And of course, then your next regular meeting will be Thursday, June 11th, 5 p.m. Also here in the council chambers. A reminder that our formal budget work sessions leading up to the tentative budget approval will be held Tuesday, June 16th and Wednesday, June 17th, if needed, to go over that. And that's also at 3 p.m. here in the council chambers. Tuesday, there was a question regarding the state budget and if that is not approved, how that might affect us. Interestingly, this week I heard a news report indicating that there has been progress in the budget negotiations, so they hope to wrap that up here within the next couple of weeks. So hopefully we will know before your budget work sessions what the effect of that will be. So that's a positive thing. Some projects, the invitation for bids for the Julio Cesare pavement replacement project are due on June 2nd, so that's next week, and we'll certainly let you know how that turns out when we get those bids in. The Police Department evidence parking lot construction, which was awarded to K&G, should be finished by the end of the fiscal year, meaning the end of June. The Buffalo Soldier Trail shared use path is now fully completed and open and looks very good. And this afternoon, I was privileged to attend the Salida Class 26-1 graduation. Sierra Vista had 6 graduates in that particular ceremony. That was our largest contingent ever. So that was a very positive thing. On the flip side, though, we are going to be celebrating the retirements of John Papa Trefon, Diana True, and Tracy Grady. That's 3 p.m. At the PD, and that's a combined 70 years of experience that we'll be losing there. So we're gaining some new ones, but losing a lot of experience. So that circle continues. And that's all I have tonight, Mr. Mayor. And ready for any questions.
All right, thank you, sir. Hey, Chief, I'll be going up to Tucson for the ball.
The ball,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think most of us are going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, but please convey to True.
I'll share the
Papa
congratulations. Thank you.
Trefon. I was Papa Trefon's commander back when he was a lieutenant, like 25 years ago. So wow, it's amazing. I mean, anything for the senior manager. All right. So we'll go to item number 2, Councilwoman Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the consent agenda items consisting of the work session minutes of May 12, 2026, and the regular meeting minutes of May 14, 2026 be approved.
Second?
Been properly moved in second. Discussion items. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing none, seeing none is passed. We'll go to our public hearing items. Item number 3, Vice Mayor Flowers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2026-035, approval of the planning year 2026 Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, Program Annual Action Plan be approved.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. Staff report, Mr. Blake Fisher. Sir, good afternoon.
Hello, Mayor McCaw, members of council. Matt McLaughlin could not be here tonight. He's over at the meeting with the county discussing some building code changes coming up. So in the meanwhile, tonight's item is for the authorization of staff to submit the project year 2026 Community Development Block Grant Program Annual Action Plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. For a recap on the progress of this process so far, first, a notice of funding availability was sent out, followed by a pre-application meeting with potential funding-seeking applicants, review and ranking of applications by the Neighborhoods Commission, a City Council public hearing featuring presentations from the applicants, acceptance of a draft plan, followed by a 30-day public comment period in which no comments were received, and finally, final adoption and authorization for submittal is what is on the agenda today. Proposed funding allocations are unchanged and can be seen on page 2 of the staff memo and on the screen here. $212,289.20 for infrastructure and facilities projects, and $37,464.80 for public services. This concludes staff's report.
All right, sir. Any questions, comments? Oh, you have your hand. Oh, you don't have your hand up. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you, sir. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing none, seeing none. It is passed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And we go to our new business, item number 4, Councilman Rodriguez.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2026-036, approval of Industrial Development Authority Education and Facility Revenue Bonds for Enterprise School Project Series 2026 be approved.
Second?
Properly moved in second. Staff report, sir. Good afternoon,
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, glad to be here. I'm here on behalf of Sierra Vista IDA. The first resolution you have before you from the Sierra Vista IDA relates to a revenue bond for a charter school financing here in Arizona. EduPrise Schools, which is a A+ rated school and is one of the longest A+ rated schools, charter schools, has requested a revenue bond to acquire its 2 existing Arizona schools that it leases. So the use of the bond proceeds is to acquire the 2 school facilities it currently leases, as well as additional monies for an expansion. The bonds are unrated and will be publicly sold by Robert W. Baird and H.J. Sims, who are underwriters, but only to qualified investors or accredited investors. As a reminder, Sierra Vista IDA is a separate nonprofit corporation from the city. It is not a commission of the city, but board members of the Sierra Vista IDA are by state statute appointed by the city council, and the city as a governmental unit must approve the proceedings of the IDA. As always, the IDA bonds are not a pledge of the credit of the IDA or the city. Instead, they're the sole financial obligation of the borrower school. Under the IDA statutes, there can be no financial obligation for the city or the IDA for these bonds. So I'm happy to answer any questions on EduPrise.
Excellent. Any questions, comments? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing none, seeing none, it is passed. Item number 5, Councilman Myers.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2026-037, approval of Industrial Development Authority Education Facility Revenue Bonds for the Padia Academies Project Series 2026 be approved.
Been properly moved to second. Staff report, sir.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, again, a second Arizona school. This is one that you may recall having seen before. This is a revenue refunding bond issue, refunding 2 prior bond issues issued by the Pima IDA and one previously issued by the Sierra Vista IDA in 2022. So this is, again, an unrated bond issue, not investment grade, but it will be sold by H.J. Sims, an underwriter, only to qualified investors or accredited investors. The use is to refund those bonds to achieve debt service savings for the school. Happy to answer any further questions on PIDEA.
Questions, comments? Yes,
Just
ma'am.
a comment. We all received a slightly edited version, not to exceed 26 million.
Yes.
It just said 25 million previously, so just for public benefit, that's the actual amount. It's not to exceed, yeah. But we have it up there. It's in the packet now.
It is in the
Yeah.
packet.
Any other comments? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing none, seeing none. It is passed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Safe drive back to Tucson.
Thank you.
And we have two call to the publics tonight. Our first gentleman is Mr. Douglas Smith. Sir, you have 5 minutes. You'll see a green light illuminated here. Once you're when it's red blinking, your time is expired. Good afternoon.
My name is Doug Smith. This is kind of surreal, guys, I got to tell you. I have stood here when the podium was there probably 300 times from 1976 on, and then moved away in 2008, but now I'm back, and things are different, so you've changed the room a lot, too. 11 years ago, we started having a seasonal solar maximum experience where the sun would go through about 3 to 4 weeks of solar maximum experience, X-class flares, increasing electromagnetic radiation. After that 3 weeks to a month, it would go away, just subside. And we've been going through that annually since that time until February of this year. And it did not subside. It's continuing to increase. And we are now experiencing intensity of electromagnetic radiation that is above any records we've ever experienced. All this is verifiable. Just Google current solar activity and then study it. We are in ever-increasing jeopardy of losing our electrical system, our grid, because of that increasing intensity that degrades the sheathing of the electrical grid. Now, back in 1965, we had the Northeast blackout. I was on my way home from basketball practice, and suddenly there were no lights, and that was just plain freaking me out, along with the bus driver. But since that time, the people who were in charge of it started doing a lot of heavy-duty research into ruggedizing the electrical grid, and they did a pretty good job of it. And it became resistant, but not impervious to electromagnetic radiation. Now we're at a place where we're experiencing a level never before experienced, and it is degrading our electrical system. How long it's going to take, how quickly it's going to happen, nobody knows, not even the experts. Do you guys have any provisions or plans to supply the city of Sierra Vista with water if there is no electricity for weeks at a time?
We can't communicate to you. You're only talking to us. We can't.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm assuming you don't. I mean, I wouldn't think there'd be any reason why you should. Well, you may want to do a just-in-case consideration going forward. I'm going to suggest you get at least a dozen 6,000-watt generators, pull start, not electronic start. Mr. Mayor, get in touch with Commander EPG, have one of their engineers talk to you about how to shield those generators from electromagnetic pulse, and then distribute those generators to the well sites, just in case. And so the consideration here for you is a very much a just-in-case scenario. But what's the alternative? If you take no action and the lights go out, just think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next call to the public is Ms. Sharon Lake. Good afternoon, ma'am. Again, you have 5 minutes. Green light is illuminated. Red light, you mean your time
Okay.
expired.
My concern is the traffic and speed limit on Coronado. It is a very heavily traveled road that crosses the city from the north to the south. Now, the speed limit outside of this, in this particular area, right out here at the police station area, is quite high. When you travel across the city at different places, it's changed to much lower speed limits. But the speed limit that's out here is 44 miles an hour. And I've brought this up to certain people, and they say, well, why isn't it 25? And I said, I'm not aware, but I am aware of a lot of the street racing that we deal with kids and their automobiles. In addition, Carmelita, the street I live on, is a street that also crosses the city, and it's used as a cut-through street, you know, to avoid Fry Boulevard. I have witnessed a lot of cars that have come down Coronado to make a turn onto Coronado, to the point where I thought the car was going to flip. And I've called the police, and of course the policeman asked me, did you get the license number? You know, I said, all I can tell you, it was a black Honda, and it had a white driver. At some point later, I saw this same car come east on Coronado, and I was able to get the driver's, the license plate of the car, which I then reported to the police. But these are things that I witnessed. But in addition to that, I hear a lot of squealing and braking and the speeding. And the speeding I witnessed, you know, living on that corner. I also see many times that the police are flying down the road because it seems that at Fry Boulevard and Coronado, there seem to be a lot of problems, you know, that judging by the number of cars that come down the road, the police cars. So I just thought I've complained to the police a lot about this, and they suggested that I come to you and explain it to you what our concern is. We have a lot of elderly people in Coronado. In addition, we have a lot of children, and we have small children. At the present time, school is not in session, But when school is in session, we also have at least 3 school buses coming in the morning to pick up the kids to go to school, and then in the afternoon to deliver them home. And in addition to that, when Bella Vista was functioning, we had a lot of parents who were going to pick up their children, which increased the volume of driving on that street. I have observed this. I can tell you one of the first big buses or trucks to come in the morning is the U.S. Mail, which arrives at 6:30 in the morning, and that's just the beginning of the large trucks that are coming in. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention, and it's a concern. And I know that we've had one really bad accident, a car going on the bypass, and that was recently, and 2 lives were lost. And my concern is we don't need to have any other victims or people who have suffered because of this. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. There are no other call to the publics, so we'll close that and have comments and requests from the council. Start with Councilman Rodriguez.
Thank you, sir. I just want to thank Mr. Eric Grisham, my Army battle buddy in Arizona at work. They had a youth hiring fair last week or earlier in the month, May 15th, and they just sent me the stats. So they had over 80 youth attended from ages 14 and 19. They did mock interviews. So I want to thank Armed Forces Bank, Navy Fed, Credit Union, Uncle Sharky's, Editor Defiant Pursuits, Media, Eagle Plumbing, who did the mock interviews. And they had some people that were hiring there as well, Uncle Sharky's, Groove Lab, Herald Media, Service of Fire Medical, and then the military recruiters. This was an initiative that the Youth Council had asked for about a year or so ago. And Eric has been working on it for a while and trying to get things together. So this is the first iteration. So it was obviously very successful. So moving forward, we'll definitely do more of these because the youth in our community obviously need it. So I just want to give them a big thanks for that, for putting that together. The Parks crew did some amazing stuff at Veterans Memorial Park. So I'll make sure you pass on my thanks to the Parks crew. They beautified the actual memorial at Veterans Memorial Park. They added some flowers. They painted the pole as high as they could. And then Sierra Vista Flowers donated the flowers that go on top. So big thanks to all of them for making sure Memorial Day was taken care of there at our park. We had local veteran Steve Ladd turned 100, which is awesome. Not very many people. We don't have many more of those World War II vets around, so it was good. It's been good to talk to him when I sit down and talk to him there at Hummingbird. It was a great ceremony. A lot of people showed up. He was in great spirits. A lot of local veteran groups came through. It was a really, really good event. So shout out to Hummingbird Senior Resort for putting it all together and helping me out with that. So it was a great event. The Police Academy lunch today was really good. I got to talk to 6 of the recruits that are coming to Sierra Vista PD. So that was awesome to talk to them in person and their families. So looking forward to seeing them on the streets. Congrats to all the graduates out there that have been going. There's been a lot of graduations these last few weeks. So especially my twins, Marcus and Marissa, graduated from Buena. So it was my last 2 that I had in school. We had a really successful project graduation. It was the 40th one that's been put on here. The Sunrise Rotary did another amazing job. So I want all the graduates out there just to have a safe summer and best of luck in all your endeavors. I also want to thank the city staff for making sure the 70th birthday was celebrated properly. We had a cake. We had a little wooden nickels to give out. So very, very big thanks to everybody that was involved in that. Congrats to Mr. Raymond Rivera for getting his award. We definitely need more people like that in our community. And then some things from this weekend. The Avengers versus First Responders game is this Saturday, May 30th, starting at 5:30 at Domingo Paez Complex. So normally the way it works, you have the littles on one field, the bigs on the other side, and in the middle you have food and stuff. It's be a great, great event. It's one of my favorite games of the year. So if you have time on Saturday coming back from the ball, on Friday, go check that out. And I also want to pass on my thanks to the retirements of Officer Tracy Grady, who's been a great SRO for the last few years there at our schools. Detective Papa Trayfon and Corporal True, all great officers in our community that we're very lucky to have and sad to see them go. But unfortunately, like the mayor said, we'll be at the Army Ball on Friday, so we won't miss that. But please pass on my congratulations and thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We go to Councilwoman Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to say thank you to our call to public. Thank you for informing us and giving us information, also things to think about as well and talk about. As for Coronado, I know exactly what you're talking about. I actually drive down that road a lot. And, sir, we will definitely talk about the water and the lights being out and what we're going to do and try to put some things together. So thank you so much for that, for the information. That's all I have.
Yes, ma'am. Councilwoman Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to thank everybody who had a role in last weekend's Sky Island Summit Challenge. It's one of those events that I'm sure planning is going on all year long because it's such a big event, as well as the Wine, Beer, and Spirits Festival. Everybody's working together into making sure these events go off as far as like marking trails, getting the Mappy Hour together, and all the packets. When I worked at Wayland, we did a small 5K for 4th of July, and just that little event, it was a lot of work getting all the shirts together and the packets and the bibs and the safety pins. So that's a big undertaking. Going out there and making sure the trails were clearly marked for all the three different peaks. Transporting participants early in the morning. Sometimes some of them had to get up at like 3 in the morning or earlier to make sure they were out there to take the participants to the starting line. And so that was a long day for them, I'm very, very sure. And then there's people at the top of each peak to hand out the stickers for everybody to make sure so people can prove that they did it. Checking in and helping people during the event. There was first responders posted throughout to make sure everybody was okay. Making sure there was good snacks at the end. When I was there, I was like, hell yeah, on the Cheez-Its and the Diet Coke. That was great. I love that. Cheez-Its and Ruffles are my favorite. And making sure everybody was transported back to their cars so they could go to the park and enjoy themselves. I did talk to a lady who had done the very first Summit Challenge, and she came back to do this one, and she was saying it was quite different, but it was really cool to see the change in it. So that was neat. That was always neat to hear when people come back to participate in it. And then there was a group of people, 15 people from Tucson that are in a hiking club, and they came down for the weekend to participate, so they stayed here and hung out and did different things. And some of them, it was their first time coming down here and doing it, and it looks like they all had a really good time, so that was cool. I did see some familiar faces. Officers Luna Gutierrez and Chavez were out there. I saw Adam Curtis. And then our very own Diana Cameron was out there kicking ass doing all 3 peaks. I saw her a couple times in there, and even after that 3rd peak, she was looking good. She looked really good. So I was like, that was awesome. I love seeing people out there, especially when they come back and do it. This, sadly, was the first year that I had to bail. I bailed on the last peak Miller. Sometimes that happens. There's a fine line between pushing through so you get stronger and get better and pushing too hard. So sometimes you really got to listen to your body and be smart about it, just to make sure that you're not being carried down from somewhere when you don't have to be. So that was a really good event. I always look forward to it. It was the first year that it sold out. So that was super exciting. So it makes me wonder what's going to happen next year. Are we going to push up the numbers or what's going on there? But afterwards, the Wine, Beer, and Spirits Festival in the park, I heard a lot of good things about that. People that went there and they had a good time hanging out with music and trying different drinks, hanging out with friends and stuff like that. So, it's been really cool to kind of see over the years how it's grown and how much our community and people outside of our community really enjoy it. So, thanks to everybody who had a hand in that. I feel like it was a big success. And then with the summer's here, people, out of school, teachers have a little more time to enjoy themselves. So I just wanted to mention that at our animal shelter, we have lots of adoptable cats and dogs that are ready for their forever home. If you can't bring one home permanently, maybe you can foster one. That's always a really good option if you kind of want to test it out, or if you have a little extra time in the summertime. Or you can even take a dog for a day out, like a dog day trip. For an adventure, go somewhere hiking, go for a pup cup somewhere, because it's the dogs, it's their first time at life too. And they only see what we show them, so I like to encourage us to show them some love and so they can have a really good life, because they definitely deserve it. And with that, be blessed and blessed be.
Excellent. Thank you, ma'am. We'll go to Councilman Myers.
Nothing for me, Mayor.
Gotcha, sir. Councilman Carol Murray.
Nothing today, Mayor. Mr. Mayor, thanks.
Thank you, sir. Vice Mayor Flowers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to congratulate the graduating class of Salida this afternoon. 6 cadets or 6 recruits, and that they're making history because it's the largest class so far. So I think Corporal Siege got a good picture of the 6 of them and Chief in the middle. And there, you can tell we had a lot of families there because they had to put extra seatings into the hallway, and a lot of little kids running around. And I just love seeing the community come together and to celebrate that achievement. And then right before a retirement tomorrow, and we see Papa Trayvon was there today and his daughter put together the movie for the graduates, which is really cool. She did a great job, and I guess she's been doing that the last couple of years behind the scenes. And, but yeah, it's a shame that we're all heading out of town right when they're doing that. I also wanted to thank Raymond Riviera, or Rivera, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.